Hello, everyone. Today we're doing lesson 17. I see no neutral things. This idea is another step in the direction of identifying cause and effect as it really operates in the world. You see no neutral things because you have no neutral thoughts. It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that it is the other way around. This is not the way the world thinks, but you must learn that it is the way you think. If it were not so, perception would have no cause and would itself be the cause of reality. In view of its highly variable nature, this is hardly likely. In applying today's idea, say to yourself with eyes open, I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts. Then look about you, resting your glance on each thing you note long enough to say, I do not see a neutral blank because my thoughts about because my thoughts about blank are not neutral. For example, you might say, I do not see a neutral wall because my thoughts about walls are not neutral. I do not see a neutral body because my thoughts about bodies are not neutral. As usual, it is essential to make no distinctions between what you believe to be animate or inanimate, pleasant or unpleasant. Regardless of what you may believe, you do not see anything that is really alive or really joyous. This is because you are unaware as yet of any thought that is really true and therefore really happy. 3 or 4 specific practice periods are recommended, and no less than 3 are required for maximum benefit, even if you experience resistance. However, if you do, the length of the practice period may be reduced to less than the minute or so that is otherwise recommended. Lesson 17, I see no neutral things. So, it's showing us in this that it's making the connection of how we judge everything. We have a judgment and opinion about everything. When we look at anything and everything around us, we do not have a neutral thought about it. We have a thought that tells us this is what this is, and this is what I believe it to be. It's not neutral. It is our own judgment and opinion that we've placed on the item that we're looking at, that's in front of us. And the examples about the wall or the body that they give here are prime examples of how it is that we judge. Wall's not neutral because the wall, we judge it to be this thing that stands there straight, firm, holding up the ceiling. That's its job, to hold up the ceiling. That's what we've judged it to be. I mean, think about it for a second. You go out into the woods and you see a dilapidated building there that has no roof. It just has walls standing there, not holding up a roof anymore. So what are the walls there for? What meaning do we give them? Same with our bodies. Consider this. If some horrendous thing was to come up and just chop off your arm in this instant, would that losing of the arm, would that define you? Define you as a human being? Define you as the person you are? Or will you learn to do things just a little differently?
Well, we know someone who has one arm, and we call him One-Arm Jim. So in a sense,
No, you call him One-Arm Jim.
I've heard other people call him One-Arm Jim too.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, we do get defined by our physical attributes.
But not by us. we get defined by everyone around us and their judgments and opinions.
We choose to accept the definitions that people define
exactly,
us by.
and that is the mistake that's being made.
Right.
We are not to allow or accept judgments from anyone for any reason, whether it's our spouses, whether it's our family, our friends, our coworkers, even our boss. We are not to accept judgments from anyone for any reason. That is the mistake that keeps getting made. We keep handing out these judgments and opinions as if they are little pieces of candy. Here, you're a piece of crap today. That's my judgment of you. Take it.
And in truth, in God's court, there's only one judgment that God will ever make, and that is innocent.
Innocent, that you are perfect, exactly as you are.
Sinless.
Sinless. You know, we've been having people come at us left and right about the things that we post on Facebook and everything else, saying you shouldn't be bringing your private stuff into Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Who gave you the right to judge anyone
Of what they should or shouldn't do.
Exactly. You have no right to say anything to anyone about anything. We are to keep our judgments and opinions to ourselves. We do not have a right to say anything to anyone about anything they're doing. Period. Not our family, not our friends, not our coworkers. None of them. And they have no right to say anything about you or to you. Not for any reason. This Holy Spirit has been extremely clear with me about. And the constant vitriol and judgments being handed out are just off the hook. We have folks coming in, telling us that we're devil worshipers, my family. We have other people coming in saying how we need to just stop and just do whatever somebody else is telling us to do because they think they know what's best.
Are telling us that we're not accepting our family for who they are and we just need to accept and allow.
Exactly. There is a difference between accepting and allowing them to believe as they do. They can have the beliefs they have. They can believe in the God that they believe in, whether that's an angry, vengeful, judgmental God or a loving, kind, gentle God. It is their choice. If they want to believe in Wicca, if they want to believe in Latter-day Saints, if they want to believe in the Jehovah's Witnesses, whatever it is that they choose to believe in, that's their choice. I have no right to tell them differently. And in that same respect, they have no right to tell me differently, to sit there and give me recriminations telling me that I have fallen off the path and that I need to follow them and do what they're dictating I do. And these people that have been friends forever, that are judging that they know what's best, and then get pissed off and angry when you don't conform and say, well, then you're not going to be my friend no more, and unfriend you. Obviously, they weren't a friend in the first place.
Yeah, I found it very telling that as soon as I told someone that I'm not looking for their advice, that they unfriended me and blocked me from Facebook.
Exactly.
It really makes you wonder, were they really a friend
exactly.
in the first place?
And, it's just like that other person. They're not our friend.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like, they need to go. I'm done with people like that. It's like one of the things that we have had happen for a long time is exes coming out of the freaking woodwork, sniffing around, looking for another baby daddy. I'm sorry. But those kinds of people, I don't want them in my life. I don't want them anywhere around me. They are not authentic. They're not honest. They have no freaking idea what faithfulness means. They have no idea of what truth is because they're constantly lying to themselves and everybody else around them. These are the kinds of people I don't want anything to do with anymore. Because these are the kinds of people that will use, abuse, and they come to you because they only see you as a resource. They only want what they can get from you. They have no idea what it truly means to be a friend to someone. They never have and they never will. And these are the things that I am being shown. People like that, those aren't your friends. Those are your enemies. Those are the people that you don't want around you. Because those are the people that believe wholeheartedly in misery loves company. And if they're miserable, they want you just as miserable as them. So they can say, well, at least I have it better than they do. That's the kind of people that you're surrounding yourself with. And those are the kinds of people you need to really ask yourself, do I really want these types of people in my life? Do I really want to keep surrounding myself by these people that do not treat me with respect, that do not love me? They are only here for what they can get from me. I'm not a resource, people. I'm a human being that deserves respect and love. Don't make a connection with me as a resource. Make a connection with me as a loving human being. I have nothing to give you but myself. I have no money. I have no food. I have no clothing. Nothing to give you but myself. I come to you with empty hands and open heart. Just as we are supposed to come to God. If you can't do that, I don't need you in my life. Plain and simple. I'm only here to share myself and what I've been taught and what I have learned from Holy Spirit.
And your experiences.
That's exactly it. It's all my experiences. The things I have been through are the experiences that I share. The lessons I've learned by going to Holy Spirit and asking Him, what am I misperceiving here? Why am I going through this? And each and every time He shows me the truth. Nothing's neutral. I see no neutral things because I've given everything I've had the meaning to for it. And as I do this work in this book, guess what? I am letting that stuff go that I was taught to believe in as a child. And in letting that stuff go, guess what? All the diseases that I created as an adult have disappeared. I say it again and again, 50,000 different ways. It's your thoughts. They come first. They create the havoc and the hell that you perceive around you out there in the world.
And as long as we have a thought that something has gone wrong, we have a misperception. Because in truth, everything is for our benefit.
Exactly. And that is it, precisely it. Everything is for our benefit, yet we keep judging it as if we've done wrong or something has gone wrong. We do that. We judge it. No one else is doing it to us. We do it to ourselves. Yeah. Look at your thoughts, folks. They're not neutral. They are judgmental, they are opinionated, and they are filled with fear, shame, guilt. These are the things you've been taught to believe in and accept as truth. That you are supposed to take the judgments and opinions of those around you and enact them on yourself. Believe that they're true.
You're ugly. You're fat.
You're bad. You're wrong.
You dress funny.
You shouldn't have talked about that on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Just because you were molested doesn't mean that you need to talk about it. You need to shut up about that shit and not say nothing no more. No one needs to know about that. Yeah, that's the kind of shit I heard growing up. Oh, you were raped? Well, don't sit there telling me about it. I don't need to know that kind of shit. You're tainted. You're dirty. I don't need to be around you. Stay away from me. You've been used. Ugh, get away. You know, it's funny because the same people that will judge a person that has been through those things are the same people that have no issue with sleeping with anyone and everyone, and it doesn't matter if they're married or not. They're the same people that show a distinct lack of morals and ethics themselves. They are the same folks that have no understanding of what faithfulness is. That when you make a commitment to something, you're supposed to honor it. There is no honor in the world anymore. People have lost their morals, their ethics, and their honor.
I don't believe that. I don't believe there's no honor in the world. There is honor in the world, but there's a lot of people that don't have honor.
Yeah. And that's what they're being taught in society today, is to have no honor, have no ethics, have no moral. I mean, think about it. Look at the things that the kids are being taught. Look at the things that they're doing now. They are completely out of control, not wanting to have any kind of...
We're in a society where people are trained as from the time they're born to listen and obey. Mm-hmm. And there's no honor in just listening and obeying.
Exactly.
There's honor in thinking for ourselves, in loving ourselves, and only following what our heart says for us to do. That's honor. Honor is standing up for what's right. Honor is standing up for what our heart tells us to stand up for.
And not what's true within our hearts.
Exactly.
And not wavering to the dictates of others. And, you know, Alex, you're absolutely right. There is honor in the world. There is morals, there is ethics, but very few people seem to have them anymore.
Well,
I mean, seriously, most people are there to get what they can get from whoever's near them. They only want to make a connection and network with people based on what they believe they can get from those people.
Well, that's because that's what the world has taught them how to think.
Yes, and that is what I'm pointing out. Yeah. Is that in everything you have been taught wrong-minded thinking, wrong-minded beliefs. You keep thinking that if someone isn't conforming to your dictates, they're not loving you. They're not giving you the love and support that you want and need. And that isn't true. Someone conforming to what you want is not loving. It's a disservice to you and it's a disservice to them. It seriously undermines everything that we are. We are holy sons of God. We are absolutely perfect as we are. We are as God created us. There is nothing wrong with us.
We simply misperceive who we are and who our brothers are.
Exactly. And all of this crap has to stop. The judgments, the opinions. Stop accepting and allowing other people to judge you. Stop accepting their opinions about what is or what isn't.
And their advice on what you should and shouldn't do.
Thank you. Exactly. No one knows what is right for anyone else, let alone themselves. Anyone telling you what you should and shouldn't do is a person that you might want to consider walking away from, cutting all ties with.
Or just simply tell them, no thank you, I don't need your advice.
Nah, I'm thinking those are people that don't seem to get it, because you said that to them today on Facebook and they couldn't get it. They didn't get it, and they won't get it.
Well, you're lumping everyone into one category.
Yes, I am.
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and an opportunity to communicate with me in the way that I would have them communicate with me.
Yeah, and unfortunately for me, I see the absolute truth of their intent. I can't get past that. And so I've learned to trust my instincts, and my instincts tell me that those are the people to walk away from. That's what Holy Spirit has been stating to me. He said the same thing to me point blank about my family, that if they cannot honor me and where I'm at, if they must continue to judge me as being other than I am to walk away from them without exception. And I have. I told my family 16 years ago when we were at a funeral. My cousin had passed away. Alex and I had been dating for a very short amount of time at that time. And let me tell you, my family got an attitude with Alex and were telling him that they didn't want him there. And I looked at my family, I said, he's here for me, not you. If you don't want him here, you don't want me here. And if that's the case, I'm fine. Enjoy your lives. Goodbye. And I walked away. Just like 30 years ago, I walked away from all of them and their God that they believed in. I did not believe in that hateful, angry, vengeful God that they believe in. And I reminded them again recently that I walked away from them 16 years ago the same way I walked away from their God 30 years ago. And I have no issue walking away from them again. I am going to stay true to me and to the faith and the trust that I've placed in God and Holy Spirit, that I am being shown the truth. And as I do so, I am healed of my mind and of my body. I mean, I've said it many times. I have had 2 forms of cancer completely healed, gone, disappeared, no longer there, without any medications, no modern medications, no surgeries. And I did that through the faith and the belief and the trust that what I was being shown was truth. That, folks, is my truth. That is what I am being told to share. That it's the things we believe in and hold forth as truth that is killing us. Because what we're being told to believe in and put our faith and trust into are lies. If you willingly look, you'll get the correction and see it for yourself. But you got to be willing to look. Too many folks say, oh, I've worked on that, I've looked at that, and yet they really haven't. They look at the surface of it, but they're not willing to delve deeply into it, to look at their core beliefs. Your core beliefs, the things that you're putting your faith and trust into. Until you willingly look at those things, you're going to continue in the hell that you're in. I mean, it is what it is. The Course here keeps saying that there is no neutral thoughts. Lesson 17. Seriously, your thoughts aren't neutral. Your thoughts create the world around you. The uglier your thoughts are, the uglier the world is. Consider that. You know, I am learning to see the world around me in a much different light. The stuff that happened in Paris with the terrorists killing all those people, while the world was going crazy about it all, going into fear states, I had no reaction. Instinctively, I understood that on some level it was necessary as a catalyst to get us to look at what we're thinking and believing to be true, at what it is that we're truly wanting in our lives. Everything that happens is for our benefit. Even things like that. They might seem nonsensical, they might seem crazy and out of whack, but everything that happens to us, everything we experience is for our benefit. You know, it's like I was saying earlier. If I were to lose an arm or a hand, that won't define me. I will just simply learn a new way of doing things. Seriously. I will simply learn a new way. I will let go of my beliefs that hand being gone defines me as being incomplete. It's not true. I'm not my body. My body doesn't define me. The world around me doesn't define me. I define me with what I believe in my heart and mind. I define the world around me by what I believe in my heart and mind. As I look out at the world, I perceive what I believe. In letting go of my judgments and opinions about the world, I'm able to see the world as it truly is. You know, there's a line in the Course that talks about the world not being real, that it's just an illusion. And for a long time, I was having fits about that. And one of the things that Holy Spirit was explaining to me was that the world itself is very real. What is the illusion is the way I perceive the world. Think about that. My perception of the world is the illusion, because my perceptions are based off of my judgments and opinions, and the judgments and opinions of those around me. When I let go of those judgments and opinions, the world itself is being shown to me in all its glory, without any of the nastiness overlaid in front of it. It's kind of like what I shared the other day about looking at ourselves, at our reflection in the mirror. When we overlay an image of somebody else's body over ours, it's distorted. And in that same way, when we look out at the world around us, it's distorted. It's distorted by what we've overlaid onto it. Think about that, guys. Just take a moment and think about that thought. That the world you perceive is the one that you made up in your mind based off of your judgments, opinions, and beliefs. Do you have anything else to say, dear?
No, I'm done. Thank you. This was fun.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. That was lesson 17. I have no neutral thoughts. My name is Sabrina Reyenga, with Alex Reyenga on the other side of the cameras. Have a wonderful day.
We have Chance up there on the drive-through window. I panned the camera up so that we could see his cuteness in the picture. Just adds to the cuteness of Sabrina. And we have Thor right here behind me, who's sleeping, and we have Spaz up here.
Yeah, we've got Spaz, we've got Thor, Chance, we've got Stubby and Willow around the house, and you guys have seen the cats before, so. And the snakes, Cinnamon and Nutmeg. Have a wonderful day, folks. Think about these things that we're sharing with you. These are the things that we've been getting shown. These are the things that we have been getting faced with to look at. The things with our families, our friends, all of it. And to learn to walk away from those that don't truly support us, that only want us to conform to their dictates, their beliefs. Those are the ones that don't accept and allow us to be as we are. And those are the people that I'm being told walk away from. Even if it happens to be my husband's friends, or my husband's family, or my own. You know, even with our families, we're to learn to recognize that there's no hierarchy there. They are our equals in every way. They don't know better than us. We're equals. When I interact with my mother, I see her as my equal. Yeah. I see her as my equal. She's not better than me. She's not less than me. She's my equal. She doesn't know more than me. She doesn't know less than me. She is my equal. And that is how we get out of this belief that someone else can judge us, can tell us what's right and wrong. When we recognize that no one is better than us, that all of us are equal. I just had a funny line come into my head. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, folks. Yeah. Yes, Holy Spirit. He's saying something about the serenity prayer here that's in front of me. Saying, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, basically. I mean, it's not perfect.
I cannot change.
Here, I'll hold it up and let Alex read it for you.
The courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's things like this, serenity prayer, that God and Holy Spirit are there to show us what we can change and what we can't.
And learn to accept what we can't change and what we can to step up to the plate and change it.
Exactly. We are being shown what to change and what can't be changed. The fact that I exist cannot be changed. Simply cannot be changed. I'm here. Like it or leave it, I'm here. Even when my body is ready to be laid aside, I will still exist. I will not die. I'm eternal. Just as you are. Start figuring out the difference, folks. Be willing to look at everything, good, bad, the good thoughts, the bad thoughts. The compliment is just as much a judgment as the nasty, derogatory comments.
Another way to look at those good thoughts and bad thoughts are true thoughts and false thoughts.
Yeah.
Ego thoughts and God's thoughts.
Right-mindedness, wrong-mindedness.
Exactly.
As, the Course has used all of these terms in one way or another. It's recognizing that everything is of Him. It has to be perfect. What's happening out there, the things you're witnessing your brothers doing, are their misperceptions, their fears coming forward. And, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's their fears coming forward, dictating what they are going to do, how they're going to react, and how they are going to perceive their world. They are so caught up in their own little fantasy worlds that they cannot see the truth of what it is they're doing. They haven't hit the bottom of their barrel yet. A lot of us have already hit that bottom. I know I did. 11 years ago, I hit that bottom. And I was ready to just check out. I was like, I am done with this shit. All of us hit that bottom at one point or another. And it's learning to accept, love, and value yourself. Because when you can accept, love, and value yourself, you can accept, love, and value the people around you. No longer placing your judgments and opinions on them. No longer placing the fog of your beliefs in front of them.
And no longer accepting being judged by others. We get to a point where when we love ourselves, we recognize that the only treatment we ever deserve is loving treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're not given that, in the past we would accept that and believe that we were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And we come to a point where we realize that, no, it's never okay for us to be treated unlovingly. And I believe that what we're going through right now, what I'm going through right now, is that opportunity to stand up to anyone, friends, family, or otherwise, that would treat me in any way other than equal respect and equal love.
Exactly. After the first year of the course, about 1 year, 3 months, was when I had that light bulb come on for me. About 3 months after doing the workbook, I had the light bulb come on for me. And it had me walking away from all kinds of people because I was being shown how much bullshit is being shoveled out there. That most of these folks that people are following that are calling themselves teachers and gurus are egos. That's all they are.
Enlightened egos.
They are enlightened egos, and the fact that they are demanding outrageous amounts of money for you to hear them speak,
or to go with them on a retreat,
or to go with them on retreats, should be a red flag, folks, of someone is not in their right mind. In the Course, it tells us to give freely and to share freely of everything we are learning. to hold nothing back and to share freely with everyone with no attachment. Just as I'm doing here, I am sharing this freely with everyone. Everything I've been learning, everything I've been getting shown, I am sharing freely. I am not asking anyone to follow me. I am not wanting to be anyone else's teacher or guru. I am simply sharing what I have been taught by Holy Spirit. I'm sharing my experiences and the truths I have learned. And I'm giving of them freely, these understandings. I am not requiring anyone to believe me either. Believe as you choose. I am understanding that in everything we all have to make our own choices and decisions. And that is what I am allowing my brothers to do. Make their own choices and decisions. I share what it is. I testify to His truth in my life. And in sharing that truth with you, I'm allowing you to witness it and decide for yourself if that resonates with you. Simple as that. These are the understandings I've been given. Alex has been sharing the understandings he's being given. When we post on Facebook, we are being told to share openly what we are being shown. Share openly the things that we are going through. And work our process there in front of you so you can see how we are doing it. In sharing the process, you are being availed a way to see things differently. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.